Welcome back everyone to the Coalition of Friends YouTube channel. My name is Garrett and today we are going to talk about The Walking Dead Season 10 Episode 5. I think this was the worst episode of this season so far. Not that it wasn't good, it was. It just wasn't as good as the previous 4. And there's two big reasons for that, which I'll get into later. We begin with Kelly running in through the woods. She is tracking a boar and her hearing starts going wonky again. She gets chased by walkers, tumbles, sits by a rock, and there is a walker whose hand is going towards her, and then cut to opening credits, whatever. I hated that. That's not one of the two reasons. It's just like a cliffhanger that I think is stupid at the beginning of an episode. I guess the reason why they did this cliffhanger is so that we were in the same knowledge about Kelly that the rest of the characters were, that we didn't know if she was alive or not. This episode, we finally get to meet fully creepy Brandon, who's a fucking asshole. I hate him. I really hate him. You're supposed to hate this person because Negan hates this person, but he is crazy. We have more Yumiko and Magna drama. Those are the two people in the previous video I didn't know about. And, like, their names. I didn't know their names. I learned their names since then because I pay attention and want to learn things. Daryl and Sadiq show up at Hilltop. Others from Hilltop show back up that were out hunting or whatever. And Connie asks, where's Kelly, just by, like, writing on the pad. I love that form of communication with the sign language. I don't know why I did this. And the writing she does. I really do like that stuff. Then we have a scene between Negan and Brandon that really is good. I really enjoyed this scene. So Negan was a little bit happy when Brandon showed up. He smiled. Later in the episode, Brandon is talking to Negan about his father, who was a savior, possibly his mother. He talks about losing his parents to Rick. He asks how Negan gets out of the cell, so that leads me to believe that Brandon is not the one that let him go, so we're waiting to see if there's someone inside Alexandria who would have done that, who I think could be the doctor dude who was in the military. His name, whatever it is. Brandon also brings up that Negan was the one who killed Carl Grimes. And Negan stops him from talking, and he's hard to come to words about that he would never kill a kid. He could never have killed Carl. Carl was someone he actually liked. Never really put Carl in physical danger. Like, he himself never, punched or hit Carl, I believe. I don't fully remember. This is season 10 of the show. Negan also doesn't want to cross the border, and that is when we have a walker randomly show up to Negan, and he kills it in such a cool way. He takes his staff that he's made, just cutting the edges off of a stick, making the pointy or whatever. And he takes that, wraps it against the wire that's around the walker's neck, twists it, and then basically garroting the walker's neck to where it just pops off. And then later you see him step on the walker's head. Practical effects by Greg Nicotero. And then anyone who's in the makeup and costume department. Fantastic. Even though the blood on Kelly or the dead bodies that we see later in the episode, I give props because Greg Nicotero is amazing. The practical effects every single episode, so well done for a television show. This is movie quality practical effects, and we're getting it on a television show. I can't believe we have this. It's just amazing. Then Brandon doesn't help Negan. Negan asks why, and Brandon first pulls out a bat with the wire stuff on it that I am dubbing Lucille Jr. Maybe he'll call it Carl. That would be crazy for a thing to be called Carl. Second thing that he brought out was Negan's jacket. He found it. I'm surprised they even kept it. Like, get rid of that. But I guess they have it still. So that's cool. Negan doesn't want it, though. He tells him to put it away for later. Another thing we have this episode, Aaron is walking around with a sword. I guess he's going to become a swordsman. And he sees Gamma killing a walker and then putting it in a stack of others. My initial thought was that she was, like, poisoning the water. But eventually we find out that Alpha is telling her to build a dam in that creek. And then we also get that Alpha was the one that did the tree on Hilltop. Next scene that I wrote down was about Negan and Brandon. They find a new place, and Brandon is like, this could be the next sanctuary, because Brandon's whole thing is about he's wanting Negan to become the bad Negan again. He still views Negan in that way, and that's what he really wants Negan to become. So he's like talking about Negan's glory days when he was in power, what the sanctuary was like. And Negan doesn't want this. Negan's done. Negan's moved on. And they hear a woman screaming in a bus, and they kill the walkers in there, and Negan pulls a seatbelt and just like slams it into a walker's head, which like cool use of a seatbelt. Another one just by slamming its head in the door multiple times. And I think Brandon is like,
damn! Classic Negan!
And we see the woman, and she has a kid. Next scene is we get a fantastic one between Connie and Daryl, who I love on screen together. They're a really cute couple when they become a couple, and I just really enjoy the chemistry they have on screen together. Connie blames herself for not being there with Kelly to protect her. Daryl then talks about a story with Merle, and he does it in such a very comedic way. It's very funny. He's barely doing sign language, and he's saying the story, so that she can read his lips. But then he's also writing stuff at the same time, and I just really enjoyed this. It was so good. Then we get one of the saddest things in a while. Ezekiel has thyroid cancer. Sadiq is talking about him with the patients, about the patients that were from the kingdom that got hit by the tree or whatnot, and Ezekiel starts coughing, and Sadiq goes to check him, and like at first Ezekiel won't show it, like he won't let him touch him, and then he like opens it, reveals it, and there's this like huge thing on his neck. Maybe this is where the thyroid is. It's maybe on this side. I don't know. And Ezekiel knows what it is. His grandmother had it, and his father had it. They both were able to get past it because of pain medications, cancer treatments, those things that can usually get rid of thyroid cancer. We don't have that anymore. Sadiq says that there are other ways to manage the pain: acupuncture, hypnotism. What did I call it? It's an H, I guess. And then Sadiq is fully open about his PTSD. He's talking about, he's like not provoked in any way. He opens up to Ezekiel that he has his own condition, and he had to get out of Alexandria because he couldn't deal with the people there, because they look at him and he feels like they wonder about what happened in the barn, and he just needed a breather. We learn the mom, we never learn her name in Talkwise. I believe it's something with an A. Just watching the credits, it was an A. Her son's name is Milo, and she tells them that they were with a group and that the camp got raided, so they went back to by themselves. The mom wants to go on a walk, so the mom and Milo leave the bus. Brandon wants to go after them and follow them, see where there's a stash is, because he wants to kill them. He grabs a wrench or something, that you can use to take tires off. I don't know what it's called. And Negan sits him down, and he's basically like, you need to go away. I don't want you here anymore. Life will get more difficult with me. Talking about the Alpha stuff, she kills another person because he spoke out against her, even though it's literally like a practical thing. The intention why she killed him is because Lydia's still at Alexandria. The Whisperer is like, we should just send the Horde now, get rid of them. Everyone believes Lydia's dead, and Alpha doesn't want to kill Lydia. Next we get a scene that possibly maybe a top scene for Negan post losing to Rick. He's talking to Milo and he gives this really good monologue about what the world used to be like, what flying on a plane was like. He really gets into nut tapping or like ball tap, if you're a fan of The Good Place. And then Taylor likes doing ball taps. That never happened to me, only Aaron. Then he leaves to go get firewood to build a fire. Here's the interesting thing. I feel like Gamma is going to turn against Alpha like her sister did. The Whisperer is now a full-on walker, and she is taking it with her as protection. And she gets to the point where she breaks a little. We see flashes of stuff from episode 2, her sister dying fully, her being dubbed Gamma by Alpha, and she just takes it out on the walker. She just stabs its head and keeps stabbing it to the point that she cuts her hand, and Aaron is there. He gives her some gauze, and she runs away. Magna, Connie, and Daryl find a barely alive Kelly. She awakes. Then Daryl's like, we need to take her to Hilltop, and Magna's like, we won't get there, we need to go somewhere else. They go to where Magna's stash is. I guess Kelly has known about this stash as well. They get her rehydrated and fixed up, and they're like, we're gonna take this back. The most shocking scene of this episode. My jaw was fully dropped. I couldn't believe this happened. Negan comes back from collecting firewood, and he's holding it in his arms like so, and Brandon is standing above the dead bodies of Milo and his mom. R.I.P. them. And he's full crazy now. He is saying that what Negan told him in the bus was a test, that life would have been more dangerous, and this is what I meant, so we killed the mom and her son. Why? Dumbass, I fucking hate you. You're a piece of shit, Brandon. And you deserve what happens next. Negan just takes a rock and goes to ham on his head, picks up Lucille Jr., the jacket, and walks off. I couldn't believe this happened. I fucking hate Brandon so much. In one episode, you learn to hate someone so much. Glad that he's dead. Really messed up person. I do not like him. Next scene is Sadiq is talking to someone over the radio in Alexandria. It might have been the doctor dude. Maybe, I don't know who the voice was. Could have been Gabriel? Someone tell me in the comments down below who he was talking to. Nonetheless, he finds out Rosita is sick, so he's leaving tonight, or that night, and he asks the person over the radio if Carol is there, and if that person will go get Carol, and then Ezekiel sits on the chair. And Ezekiel is going to tell Carol about his cancer, and he's going to talk to her, but he can't, and he turns it off. He is so hurt over Carol, and the fact that he has now a timeline for his passing, that he can't deal with it anymore. So he doesn't tell Carol. He just turns the radio off, and that was the end of the scene. The first thing that I really like about this episode is Magna and Yumiko's drama or whatever. I think there's no basis for it. I think they just needed something for those characters, something to build another layer of drama in the show. It doesn't work for me. I really don't like it. And the fact that Magna was a convicted killer and Yumiko as a lawyer got her out as someone who was innocent, and Magna just said she might have killed her cousin, like she just killed her cousin. What the hell? This is 13 years ago. I don't care. Gamma comes back to the Whisperers, shows Alpha the gauze, and in the end of that conversation, Alpha tells Gamma to build a relationship with the man with a metal arm, Aaron. They don't know their names yet. They don't care about names, and that is what it was. So Aaron is gonna meet Gamma, or whatever Gamma's real name is, because she's gonna tell him her real name. Might be a fake name. We'll see. So Sadiq and Daryl are leaving at night, and Connie says goodbye to Daryl. She apologizes to Daryl about him having to lie to everyone in Hilltop, about Magna and Kelly, about their stash and whatnot. And it's a touching scene. I love them together. Daryl understands because he does the sign language for family And then Connie just signs it back to him, saying that he's part of her family now. It was very cute, and he leaves, and I really like them as a couple, and the fact that Carol wants to be with Daryl now, I don't like it. Carol and Daryl are good friends. Connie is my who I want to be with Daryl. Final scene of the episode is Negan crosses the border purposefully. He's full jacket now, carrying Lucille Jr., and he starts taking out walkers. He gets pushed down by Beta, who who's looking at him. And then Negan just smiles. So the way I took it is he purposely got caught by the Whisperers. I know in the comics we're supposed to have some Negan Alpha interaction, not sexual, but just interaction. And I think Negan is infiltrating the Whisperers because he wants to prove himself as a good guy. He's sick and tired of their being bad guys. He has relationships in Alexandria. Judith is there. Lydia is there. Two people he genuinely cares about, and he doesn't want them to go away. So I think he's going to try to take down the Whisperers by himself, and I think he's gonna fail. Not that he dies, just that he fails. The final thing that I really didn't like about this episode is the Hilltop people. Alden is fine, but I don't like the old guy. I didn't like his wife last season, especially at the beginning, dealing with Maggie, because literally it wasn't Maggie's fault her son died. The boy went to the horse itself, and the horse kicked him, and he got bit by a walker. That's not Maggie's fault. He was a dumb one that did that himself. And then, of course, the old woman got put on a spike last season, and now this old dude is left by himself with a baby that Connie saved. This is a very convoluted show, as most shows that are on for 10 seasons, I guess. So that brings to the end of this review/thoughts video for The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 5. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, give it a like. If you want to see more of these videos, hit subscribe and that bell notification so you get told when more of these videos get uploaded. Coda is barking downstairs, and I'll see y'all in the next video.